Hello YouTubers, do you like Star Citizen? Do you like to keep up to date with what's new? Are you a player of Star Citizen or thinking of becoming one? Well, here in Hassle-Free Gaming we're going to take a look at the up and coming 3.9 patch. Specifically, is it time to jump on board the Star Citizen bandwagon? But first, a look at the developments so far.
It's 2011. We are in Chris Roberts' garage with a team of around 12 others. Work has just begun on an Elite Dangerous style space sim. Fast forward to 2012, with crowdfunding, Chris's dream, and the opinions of those early bird backers, legends! The vision of Star Citizen started to grow. And by 2014, oh boy did it grow. The only game to have similar ambitions was No Man's Sky. And we know how that turned out. Why I believe 3.9 is a great time to jump into the verse. Here are my top 5 reasons. 1. Stanton, a fairly complex system to build, being very nearly complete. 2. The back-end tools developers use to create the verse really starting to shine. 3. We should really start seeing staggered development benefits kicking in from 3.9 onwards, speeding up the process and making the verse a lot more stable towards each and every patch. So, what does this mean? To put it simply, it means that the game's becoming less of an alpha and more of a, playable game. Although that's not to say the verse is nearly finished by any means. There's still a long way to go. But even with the single player campaign Squadron 42 being prioritised over the persistent universe, definite progress is being made with each and every patch. 4. Some of the game loops being fleshed out, like the up and coming chain missions ending in a player versus AI controlled Idris. 5. Early day persistence is in, but we'll talk about this and the other 4 points later. Now, those of you who have invested a lot of time into playing and testing the game may say there isn't many, if any, real game loops. Meanwhile, for those who haven't played for a while, or at all, it would appear that we could be busy getting lost for days, with many different mission givers, missions that are only available whilst in certain areas of space, like Port Olisar. Speaking of which, I can't wait to see the place for myself before it gets blown up. Personally, I think it will go derelict, and it will remain in-game as a historical point of interest. I digress. Currently, the missions accessible to you are affected by your playstyle. So, if you're a good law-abiding citizen, or not so much, the missions available to you will reflect that. In the future, CIG will have the reputation per mission giver, maybe per faction and per system. Now, as anything in Star Citizen, it's all a work in progress, so the mission features like reputation may not be as I just stated. Now currently, if you are one of those unlawful players, as it stands in 3.8, if you commit a crime worthy of a crime stat, it kinda goes like this. Do crime, bounty on head, get killed, bounties come. With there being no real penalty or consequences for your actions. You have the option to pay minor fines off at spaceports and hack down your crime stat, but it's important to note hacking takes money to buy the hacking chips and a lot of time getting the chips from the place of purchase to places like Security Post Korea and the bunkers on Hurston. In 3.9, we'll have our first prison with matching prison clothes, which means if you get a crime stat and die or choose to surrender to the bounty hunter or space popo, you'll spawn into a ship heading straight towards a prison. The sentence there is measured in merits, which is the currency used inside the prison, that you'll be able to have the option to speed up your sentence by mining and selling the mine goods to automated vendors. Another way is by winning and placing bets in a boxing ring. Alternatively, we can be released temporarily for humanitarian, imperial or board parole reasons. Other ways to be released are if you've been wrongly convicted or a player comes forth and takes the blame for you. What a guy. But if you're not interested in the new mission givers and game loops, escaping is an option. To do this, you need a guy on the outside to pick your ass up, as the moon Aberdeen has no oxygen and is too hot for your orange PJs. With the new prison missions and mission giver, I plan on getting myself locked up to test the gameplay and attempt to find a way to sneak out. All this in future videos. Speaking of missions, we are starting to see a lot more lore-driven missions, with the player actions potentially having an impact on the verse, like the up-and-coming double assassination on 2 important figures in the Stanton system. This may lead to more lore-driven missions and chain missions. in the upcoming patches, giving the citizens a real sense of impact and immersion, which is exactly what Chris has been talking about for so long now. But what does this all mean for you and the rest of the player base? Well, in short, Star Citizen won't be like the Elite Dangerous with its developer-made repeating game loops. Bring cargo to space station, protect cargo runners. Instead, your actions will allow us to somewhat mould the verse, while at the same time having a fairly unique experience. And we're not even talking about the professions in the verse, such as bounty hunters, traders, miners and so forth. Which brings me on to the next question to you. Where do you see yourself in the future of Star Citizen? Maybe an explorer at outer edges? Or a salvager following up on a recent conflict? Moving on, in the patch 3.8, persistence now includes body armor, rental ships and the components you bought for the ships. In the future, full persistence will allow for gameplay like salvage, as all items, big or small, will be saved in the back-end servers and persist pretty much indefinitely, or at least until those pesky pirates come along and steal your stash hidden behind that weird square-shaped boulder 3 clicks north of Tisa Spaceport. The tools the developers are using that have been made in-house are bringing the universe alive much faster than ever before. Procedurally made cave tech, planet tech, and in the future the economy that citizens will have an impact on by mass trading of products or destruction of trade. So these tools are aligning the promises put out by Chris and his team and are showing that the future development of the next 100 systems, yes, 100 systems, will be much, much faster than the Stanton system. For those of you who like a good shoot 'em up, Theatres of War, releasing sometime after 3.9, looks to be freaking awesome. It's how I'd imagine a futuristic battlefield to be. Spaceships, explosions, big guns, with high fidelity. What more could you possibly want? If, like you like large-scale infantry, land and air vehicular warfare, subscribe to this channel, as we will be devoted to all things Star Citizen with an emphasis on Theatres of War in the upcoming videos. And yes, I'm sure you figured out by now, I'm not currently a player of Star Citizen. I have only seen it being played by other YouTubers. That being said, how can you not know a mighty amount of information about Star Citizen after watching a BoredGamer video? That guy's it's a black hole in reverse, spewing out all information regarding Star Citizen. Bloody legend. I've been following since 2.6, where all players could really do is sightsee Port Olisar and Crusader, and gangbang on the Noob and the Aurora. Oh, and take Big Benny's food vendor for a ride. But enough about me, is it time to play? One more quick thing before I finish up. Last Christmas, I won an Avenger Titan game package from the YouTuber KGH, so a huge thanks to you, lad, and the subscribers who made the competition possible. You have given me the opportunity to start playing the game, and in a not too distant future, I too will be giving away ships and game packages for you, the subscriber, giving you, like myself, a chance to play for free. There is another way to play for free, by making a free account with Robert Space Industries, keeping your wallet closed and waiting for 3.9. They normally hold a free fly event upon the patch releases, which lasts for a week and allows anyone with a game account to play the game. And as a bonus, all players who have the game have a referral code, like the one in the description, which gives you and I extra in-game starting monies upon release of the Persistent Universe. If you are making a new account, make sure to put the code in as you're making the account, because, as it stands, you can't add one after the account is made. Developers are aware of this and will change it in the future. With that all said, like most games, to start playing it takes your monies. Star Citizen isn't near its full release, but there's no harm in signing up now. So, do you think it's time to play? Or are you waiting for server meshing and a higher player count? Perhaps you're waiting on Pyro, or possibly something else altogether. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the verse.